Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Nikki, but everybody calls me Nike. The same spelling, different pronunciation. If you're new here, welcome to my channel, welcome to my space, my oasis, my lifestyle, my head. But if you're following me for a while now, I know you're already wondering what went wrong and how I failed nursing school, and by the title, how I am going back to nursing school. So let me get my notes real quick because I need to tell you everything. This is my notes. I wrote everything in there so I can make sure to tell you guys. This video is inspired by Lisha. I really like how she was so put forward, was so truthful about failing nursing school, because on YouTube you rarely see videos on failing. That is why I wanted to make this video also. So let's get started. In this video I am going to be bearing it all. I am going to be telling you everything, how I failed after I failed nursing school, I think in March this year, and how everyone around me was feeling about going back to nursing school, and was feeling when I failed nursing school, what I'm currently doing right now, and what I have been up to. So I am going to make sure I tell you guys everything. I'm not going to be gatekeeping anything, and I'm also not going to be lying through my teeth. So let's get started. We're gonna get started on when I failed nursing school. So I think I failed nursing school around March, and it was so funny because after I was taking pediatric around that time, and after I failed out by 0.2. I thought my teacher was going to give me that 0.2 to make my grade be a 79.5, and mind you, I was passing the whole course prior to the final, so the final faded me out. I thought my teacher was gonna give me the 0.2. Unfortunately not. The next day that I woke up, the dean already sent an email saying, oh, you failed. But it's so funny because when you email the dean, sometimes they take a month to reply, but it takes them 1 day to notify a student if they fail out of the program, which I think is funny to me. After I failed out, I reached out to my advisor and we talked about what was my plans, because I was taking nursing research at that time, so I needed to finish my nursing research, and unless it's gonna affect my financial aid and stuff like that. So they allowed me to finish my nursing research, and I changed my major after finishing nursing research. So the next semester, it was spring when I failed out. So in the fall, I changed my major to biology. I changed my major to biology because I took biology in high school, college biology in high school. So I wanted to take biology too, and I wanted to do chemistry because the program I am applying to is going to need original chemistry, not chemistry for health science major that I took in my old school. So I needed to make sure I'm prepared and everything. So after I failed out in the spring, I got a job, and I reached out to multiple nursing programs. I reached out to a lot of nursing programs. I reached out to community college too, because to be honest, a nurse is a nurse. I'm not about to look if it's a BSN or a Hagen, because at the end of the day, I wanted to be a nurse. So I reached out to some community college around me. I also reached out to 4-year colleges. Unfortunately, the 4-year colleges application already passed, and the community college application also already passed, so I was left stranded. I was like, what am I going to do? Because I need to get into nursing school either by 2023 or by this fall. But I was working at Walmart So I was working at Walmart just to make me ends, and to be honest, working as a cashier at Walmart is so, it has its advantage and disadvantage. Advantage being you meet a lot of customers, and I met a lot of nurses, I met a lot of doctors, and I met this nursing teacher and they told me, hey, come apply to my school. We have a 95% passing rate. Everybody passed that class. I was like, oh, okay, I am gonna apply. And I reached out to that school, and they told me I have to get my CNA and I have to get my TEAS test. And in my old nursing program, we do not have to do a TEAS test, but they just changed it this year after I failed out. We didn't have to do a TEAS test, they only needed SAT, and we didn't have to get a CNA to get into that program. So I was like, oh, okay, I don't know. So I reached out to my friends because they were already a CNA, and they told me like, oh, do you know if you pass the summer and you pass kind of a year in nursing school, they will give you, the nursing program will give you a waiver to get your CNA. So I was so happy because I reached out to the dean. I was so scared maybe the dean would tell me, I can't give you the waiver because you failed out. Thank Lord, the dean told me, send me the waiver, and that month I started preparing for my CNA, but I wasn't preparing enough because I needed to take my TEAS test. The school program I currently accepted in, they told me I needed 60% to pass my TEAS. I think 60 or 65, I'm not sure. I'm gonna post it right here. And they told me I needed a 60 to 65% to pass my TEAS test. And to be honest, because I was working at Walmart, it was so stressful just to make money to go back to school. I studied for 2 weeks. 2 weeks, like 1 week watching videos and everything, and then the other week practicing questions. I wasn't reaching for the stars like a 90 or 95. I know I am very smart and I wanted a good grade, but I wasn't reaching above and beyond for my test result. So I ended up getting a 70.5, which is really, really good. I got a 70.5 and I was really happy because they needed a 60 and I got a 70. So it's a 10 points difference right there. It's a huge gap. After I got my TEAS test done, I was so relieved that it was 1 step or 2 steps closer. So I wanted to do my CNA, and I saw like my friends on Instagram getting their CNA during the summer, and I reached out to them and tell them, hey, what do you guys did to get your CNA? And they told me about Nurse Jar. If I tell you, I did not study anything for CNA for my skills portion. If I tell you that I only watch Nurse Jar credential videos, and there's some videos in Nurse Jar playlist that wasn't there, so I just searched them up. That was it. And my CNA evaluator that was gonna evaluate me to get my license, she was really, really surprised that I only watch YouTube to get my CNA skills. So Nurse Jar is the best, and it was one of my friends that recommended, so I forever loved her. And I only studied for 1.5 months to get my CNA, and I got my CNA license around August, like the beginning of the school year. And the moment I got my CNA license, that week was the week I went to the nursing program I wanted to apply to, and they do something called MA review. So I went there, I got my CNA license, certification paper, I got my TEAS test paper. I went straight to that nursing program, like drove over there and tell them, hey, I'm ready to apply for my MA review. I left that building feeling so relieved, like, whew, all I have to do is just wait for them, and like, God is gonna take his fate. I feel like me failing nursing school got me closer to God because there was no time in nursing school for me to go to church. There was no time for me to pray because I'm always studying every single day. I'm always like busy. So I was really grateful, just taking a deep breath and smelling the fresh air. Kind of. After I applied to this program, all I had to do was wait. I think the deadline for the application was September 16th, so I waited for so long. So I keep on saying this program, but the program I end up applying to is a ADM program, and I am gonna explain how I'm going to do it to get my BSN program in 1.5 years. I am supposed to graduate December next year if I was still in my old nursing program, but I am still going to graduate at the same kind of time frame, and I am gonna transfer to it. I'm gonna explain everything later. So let me look at my notes because I just want to like talk about everything. How my parents felt. To be honest, failing is the last thing anybody want to do. Is to fail nursing or to fail any courses they have done before. My parents, they were really sad about the news because they saw me studying from morning to night, and they weren't disappointed, but they were really sad because it was sad news. So my dad told me, what am I gonna do next, because I am an adult, so I need to know what I am gonna do with my life and my career. Me failing nursing school made me sure I 100% wanted to be a nurse. So I was like, don't worry, I think I'm reaching out to people, and my friends was really supportive. My friend outside of my nursing program was supportive. My friends in the nursing program were really supportive. They even helped me find resources, where to apply to, what am I gonna do. Like, people were like really supportive, and it was just, I kind of didn't see that. I just was buried in my own sadness, was really sad. I didn't even want to film or talk about it. It is a ADM program, but it's going to take me 1 year to complete because I already took some classes already, like the general classes like English. I already took all that. I'm going to be taking my NCLEX in my ADM program, and that will prompt me to go back to my other nursing program that I failed out of to get a BSN online degree, and that is gonna take me at least, I think, 6 months. It takes 1 year, but I already took like pathophysiology, I already took clinical nursing research, I already took majority of that. So most of them I might be challenging those courses, and I hope they did not tell me to retake all those courses because I did do them. It hasn't even been 2 years, you know. It's gonna take me 1.5 years to graduate, which is no big deal. People in my major changed their major, changed it to healthcare management or clinical research. But I know that is not what I wanted to do. I did not want to do healthcare management. I did not want to do clinical research. And I feel like that's the only option we as a nursing student, my whole program, could like merge into without like losing time to graduate on time. But I take the risk to go to another school or to entirely to another program. So that was a big risk for me to take, I swear, because I was actually really scared doing it, like taking each and every step that I was taking. I was like, am I gonna be all right? And stuff like that. So I also want to talk about people not talking about their failures. There's a lot in my community because I am African, and I feel like people in my community do not talk about failure a lot, and they only talk about their success. After I failed out of the program, I finally like the people that I look up to that were travel nurses, that were nursing managers, that were currently taking their master's degree. Some that already worked 10 years as a nurse. I finally figured out some of them failed. Either they failed out of a program or they failed out of a class, but they didn't say that. They didn't say, hey, I failed out of a program, it's okay. You know what I mean? They didn't say, they only talk about, the only thing you see is how successful nursing is, how much money they're making. They never talk about how hard nursing school was, or how they failed and how they bring themselves, like how they brought themselves up, like it is buried under the rock or something. And I felt like I wanted to change that. I also want to talk about mental health in general. Nursing takes a toll, like, oh my god, like my mental health, it was bad from the beginning of the summer, or the beginning when I failed, to after I submitted my application to my new program. And to be honest, I'm like, I lost my period for 3 months. It was due to stress, and my hormones were jacked up because I was going under stress, and I couldn't see my period for a good 3 months. And that was bad for me because my doctor ended up putting me on irons and something to make my hormones regulate or something like that. Yeah, mental health is real. And in my community, African community, it's not something they believe in, or it's not something our older generation believe in. I just feel like it should be taken seriously. Look at my notes, because I gotta make sure I say everything. I don't know if I said it or not, but what I am doing now, I am taking, I think, chemistry, biology 2. That is hard. Biology 2 is hard. I could not believe I wanted to be a biology major. I'm taking nutrition. I am taking nutrition because when I was taking adult in nursing, there was a lot of food choices, exam questions, and being Nigerian or me being African, I wasn't open to those choices. I didn't know stuff like that. So I am taking nutrition right now, so it is going really good. I'm taking walking for fitness. I am taking that class because I needed it for my mental health. It is a 1 credit class, so I am so happy I took that class. What else I am taking? I don't know, but biology, the teacher makes his questions, so it is really hard. I am passing that class because the only way you can pass that class is to write notes and listen to his recordings, because you can't pass that class thinking Quizlet as the answer. My financial aid. My financial aid. Hopefully financial aid keep on giving me financial aid, but I think financial aid is for 6 years. And I am already like 4 years or something in that program, in my whole program. So I am going 1 year. So I think financial is going to cover my financial. I hope so. When I start nursing school, my Haitian program that I applied to, thankfully, you can apply 2 times in that program, which is you can apply in the spring and you can apply in the fall. So I apply, in the summer, fall kind of area. So I am going to be starting in the springtime. So I'm going to be starting in January and hopefully to end by December. My orientation is, I think, November 10th. So thankful for the support and everything, because I wasn't actually happy when I got my acceptance letter from my other program. It wasn't like the same excitement I felt when I got my acceptance letter in my whole program. It's not my first journey through nursing school, so as much as I wanted to be, but I was relieved that I am going back, like it's real. I am going back to nursing school again. I understand how it felt to be almost at the door and never got to go through the door, because I had one more year to graduate nursing school after being there for almost like 4 years or 3 years just to and I couldn't go through that door and get to take graduation pictures with my friends. I didn't get to take adult too. I couldn't get to do a lot of things and that I felt like if I had passed I would have done. I think basically I already said everything that I wanted to say. If you have any questions or if you want to reach out, my socials are down below. I think I made a link to every social. You can holler at me, you can reach out to me if you want to. Also, do not forget to subscribe or like at the end of this video if you want more content from me. If you want more content from me, do not forget to subscribe or like. I'm gonna be updating y'all, and I'm also trying to be consistent. I got my CLA license. I got my CNA license, so I might wish you know, a little hospital. Get ready with me for CNA or something like that. I want to end this video with a note. If you fall, stand up and try again and again and again and again. But make sure something is changing. Make sure you're not doing the same thing all over. Make sure you change the reason why you failed and try again. I think I did something. I said something, y'all. I think I said majority of everything I wanted to say, and I hope this video really helps you in some way or the other. I am so relieved to say everything that I wanted to say. Oof. Thank you. And thank you for your constant support. I love you guys, and have a blessed, nice day. Bye.